across the podium.
We're gonna have to fan out, please. Fan out.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm going to let everybody get situated.
A little bit more. Everybody come right here.
All right, y'all. Thank you for being here to cover this very important issue. My name is Joaquin Castro, and I chair the Congressional Hispanic Caucus this term, and I represent the city of San Antonio in the House of Representatives. Today, about 14 members of Congress had a chance to visit an ORR facility run by Southwest Key, Border Patrol Station number 1 in El Paso, and right now, the Border Patrol Station in Clint, Texas. We came today and we saw that the system is still broken and that people's human rights are still being abused. We remain very concerned about the conditions in which people are being kept. In fact, at the Border Patrol Station number 1, we had a chance to visit with about 15 or 20 mothers, some of whom had been at that Border Patrol Station for over 50 days. Some had been separated from their kids. When we went into the cell, it was clear that the water was not running. There was a toilet, but there was no running water for people to drink. In fact, one of the women said that she was told by an agent to drink water out of the toilet. These are the conditions that have been created by the Trump administration. These are the inhumane conditions that folks are facing. And so this is not just about more money for Border Patrol or for the Department of Homeland Security. This is also about the standards of care by which people are being taken care of, both children and adults. And we remain committed in Congress to making sure that these conditions improve, that this system be morally defensible. I would also like to very quickly, before I turn it over, speak to the Facebook page that was discovered by ProPublica today. That was a vulgar, disgusting, and vile page. That shows, unfortunately, that there are many within CBP who become desensitized to the point of being dangerous to the migrants in their care and to their co-workers. They're migrants. There are many good agents who are overwhelmed by those like those who were part of that Facebook page. And we expect that there will be a full investigation. I expect that there will be a congressional investigation to get to the bottom of it. With that, I want to turn it over to the Congresswoman from El Paso, Veronica Escobar.
Thank you, Joaquin. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. So I first want to say that I am so grateful to my colleagues who've made the journey all the way to El Paso in order to see for themselves. And I do want to comment a little bit on what Joaquin mentioned. One of the things that we see in action, whether it's the Facebook page or the chants that you're hearing today, is a dehumanizing of people that is very dangerous to our country. It's very dangerous, and the minute that we lose our own humanity, then we've gone into a very dark place, and unfortunately, our country has gone into a very dark place. But this is the 10th congressional delegate visit that we've had in El Paso. I am so grateful to everyone who has taken the time to visit. Good public policy is crafted when people are able to see with their own eyes, hear with their own ears, and speak to people, whether it be agents or whether it be people in detention. And so these are members, some of whom have come back a second time, some of whom have come back a third time, and many freshman members as well who are very interested in ensuring that we build the best legislative agenda, the most humane, and the most reflective of American values. So I'm going to let them speak for themselves so that they can describe what they saw. See this, pues.
Hi, I'm Congressmember Nanette Barragan. I also happen to serve on the Committee for Homeland Security. This is my third visit here today. What we learned today is there's still separation happening of family units. So we spoke to people a mother who was separated from her 19-year-old daughter and who is going to be sent back under the MPP program. We spoke to a young man who came over with his uncle and who's being held in OR custody for 2 months, even though he has family here and even though he came over with his tío. So we know the separation continues. We did not get answers, completely unacceptable. We did not get answers about the MPP program, the Remain in Mexico program. People are being raped when they're being sent back. People are undergoing violence, and we did not get answers about the inconsistencies of policy on who's sent back and who's not. We saw at the last stop an entire cell that said MPP candidate yes, MPP candidate no, and there was nobody in the no cell, and there were people in the yes cells. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing conditions continue to change. Now let me say one more thing. One more thing that was really important. We just passed a supplemental bill in Congress, and when I asked the question, what are you going to spend that money on, I got a blank stare, because they're saying you came at the wrong time. Nobody is here. The influx has really come down and it's low. So what we're hearing come out of here is very different than what we're seeing certainly on the news right now. And we did not see very many people, and we did not have an opportunity. They were preventing us from talking to people and put a lot of restrictions. So with that, to give my colleagues an opportunity to talk, we'll answer questions afterward.
I'm Congressmember Judy Chu from Los Angeles, and I will never forget the image of being in a cell and seeing 15 women, tears coming down their faces as they talked about being separated from their children, about having no running water, and about not being able to know when they were going to get out since they'd already been there 50 days. And in fact, a woman talked about being an epileptic and not even being able to have access to any medicine. But I really came here for the kids, and I came here to make sure the kids, particularly here at Clint, are being treated the best way that they can be. And I know there is attorneys who talked to 60 kids talked the truth. This system is broken, and the Border Patrol was just trying to show what they wanted to show, lots of supplies, and also I think that they reduced the number of people, a number of children for this occasion. We know the system is broken. It's got to be fixed.
My name is Madeline Dean. I'm from suburban Philadelphia. I'm a freshman member of Congress. I wanted to be here because I wanted to see how our government treats the least of these. If you remember Matthew 25, it's a gospel I love. I was hungry, and you gave me to drink. I was hungry, and you gave me to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me food. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was in prison, and you visited me. That's what we wanted to do here today, to visit this broken system, to say that we can do better as Americans. We will be judged as a country, as a government, by how we treat the least of these. And with that, I know we can do better. Thank you very much.
Here it comes. I'm Mark Vesey, Congressman from the 33rd Congressional District here in Texas. I represent Fort Worth and Dallas, and I'm a very proud Texan. But what I saw here today in our state on United States property is shameful. And it's been exacerbated by the policies of this President of the United States and Stephen Miller and the other people around here that have used people as pawns in a game instead of working with Congress to try to pass real comprehensive immigration reform and to try to do something. They've eliminated policies and ended policies that would have actually helped people be able to apply for asylum in their own home countries, and we've gotten absolutely no help. And like it's been said earlier, we need to be spending money on helping individuals with healthcare needs, with housing, with food, not with all these enforcement efforts that we're seeing here today that are separating families. When we get back to D.C., demanding that we get to work on this, that the president work with us, and that we get something passed for these families and for our country.
Those kids are not separated. You just told a lie.
My name's Pete Aguilar. I represent California's 31st District in Southern California. This is my second trip to El Paso. What this trip was about is about providing oversight. This trip is us as members of Congress exercising our constitutionally directed job to provide oversight over these conditions and over this administration that is not implementing the policies that we have passed as Congress. We're going to continue to come. We're going to continue to lend our voice. We're going to continue to exercise our oversight ability to ensure that we protect these young people who are in the care of the United States government, to make sure that we are doing our job. We will absolutely not shirk from that. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Congresswoman Lori Trahan.
Thank you, Pete. My name's Lori Loureiro Trahan from Massachusetts, and I came here so that I could see with my own two eyes what's happening here at our border, and also so that I could convey to people who aren't able to come down here to hear what's happening in the facilities I had the privilege to visit today. Look, I'm a mom of two young daughters. They're 5 and 9. So there were times when I walked through these facilities and I was enraged, and there were times when I walked through this facility and I was brought to my knees in tears. And it's because these are some of the things I saw. I saw young girls under 5 years old quarantined in a small box of a room, 8 by 10 feet, because they have the flu. Being not able to eat because they have the flu, and they're given cheeseburgers and juice. We're not giving basic human rights to children right now who are in our custody. And you know, let me be super clear. These facilities are not built to care for children. The people who are trained here, they are not trained to give care to children. So we need to come up with prescriptions and responsible solutions to give high-quality care for kids who are in our custody. This is about children, this is about human rights, and we've got a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Separate issues, my friend.
What about the kids in the Planned Parenthood getting killed over there? How about those?
Hello, my name is Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Hey, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hopefully we're able to get through this. My name is Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. I am the Congresswoman from New York's 14th Congressional District. I represent a community that is overwhelmingly diverse in all ways. We have urban communities. I represent home-owning communities. I represent constituents that are both immigrants and United States citizens, and both, oftentimes. What we saw today was unconscionable. No child should ever be separated from their parent. No child should ever be taken from their family. No woman should ever be locked up in a pen when they have done no harm to another human being. They should be given water. They should be given basic access to human rights. And it is a false false notion, the idea that we have to choose between people is a false notion. No child ever has to suffer for the benefit of another, and I will never accept that argument.
Anybody else?
Ayana and then Rashida.
Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Ayanna Presley. I represent the Massachusetts 7th Congressional District. Before coming here, I asked my constituents what message they wanted me to deliver to the children and families here today. They asked me to deliver a message that you are welcome here and that we love you and that we will never stop fighting for your dignity, for your humanity, and for the preservation of your family. Today I was able to deliver that message, and we've talked about the most vulnerable amongst us, our children. But I want to talk about their parents, mothers, the abuelas, the tias, the madres that I sat with, who wept openly in our arms, not even knowing our names, because of the trauma they are experiencing, and because they don't know where their children are. Keep yelling. This is very appropriate. Vile rhetoric for vile actions. Hateful rhetoric for hateful behavior. Racist words and venom for racist policies. Very apropos. This is bigger than a funding debate. That's right. Or about any speeches that we give here on the floor of the House of Representatives. This is about the preservation of our humanity. And this is about seeing every single person there as a member of your own family. I am tired of the health and the safety, the humanity, and the full freedoms of black and brown children being negotiated and compromised and moderated. We need a system that works, that is humane, and that is compassionate, and that keeps families together. I learned a long time ago that when change happens, it's either because people see the light or they feel the fire. Today we are lifting up these stories in the hopes that you will see the light. And if you don't, we will bring the fire. Thank you.
You know what we're doing today? We are putting America first, not hate. So you all can yell and scream. But what we saw today, what we did today, is try to bring the eyes and ears that you all can't have when we go into these facilities. Today, what I learned today and seeing the eyes of a father of a 14-year-old is that it's not about children only. It's also about the fathers and the mothers. But I will outwork your hate. I will outlove your hate. I will always put my country first, unlike what you all do. And I'll tell you this. Veronica Escobar is the best goddamn state